Good morning. You know how every once in a while you see or hear something that is simply heart-stopping? Perhaps it is a glorious sunset emblazoned across the sky, or the most amazing and noisy fireworks display that you can ever remember. Maybe it's a newborn baby's first cry, or the particularly wizened profile of a centenarian man or woman coupled with an aged, gravelly voice. Simply heart-stopping, all those experiences. Or perhaps it is a photograph of a portion of the crowd of 1,500 plus people who sat shoulder to shoulder on folding chairs to listen to the president's nomination acceptance speech on the south lawn of the White House this past week. No one that I could see was wearing a mask, least of all the president, backed up as he was by dozens of American flags and flanked by the haunting specter of over 180,000 COVID deaths in this country. Simply heart-stopping. I did not listen to his speech, but understand that there were more than 20 false or misleading claims in his remarks. Additionally, he accused Joe Biden of ignoring science in light of the pandemic and incorrectly claimed that Biden intended to shut down the whole country in response to it. The president attempted to tap into the need that so many people have, which is to live in a world that is simple rather than complex, where everything is black and white with no shades of gray. He tried to draw upon the fear that so many people carry, fear that they have lost the power and control to make America not great, but the way they perceive that it used to be. That he might have succeeded is simply heart-stopping. I have heard the upcoming presidential election called an election that will decide the fate of democracy in our country, a battle between good and evil, a surreal conflict between law and order and chaos and anarchy. I do not know if it will turn out to be any of those things, but I do know that it is likely to be one of, if not the most important election of my lifetime. Our younger son, Tim, shared information with us recently about the Adopt a State program in which he is participating. Last week, he made dozens of phone calls activating Democrats and independents in Arizona. I always thought that such election organizing involved only making such phone calls or knocking on doors, neither of which an introvert like myself gets real passionate about. However, as Tim noted, and as I found out on the mobilize.us website, I can send text messages and write letters. And so on Sunday, September 6th, for 90 minutes, I will be texting Democrats and independents in Iowa who have been purged from the voter rolls, urging them to re-register so that they can vote. There are also text banks happening between now and Election Day in all of the battleground states as well. Tim also told us about how in 2016, the morning after the last presidential election, he sat with his older brother, both of them wondering what to do now that Donald Trump had been elected president. However, that question, what do we do now, is not one to ask on November 4th. It is one to ask and answer now. What do we do now between the end of August and Election Day? First, as Barack Obama said at the Democratic National Convention, we make a plan for voting. We know ahead of time how and where we will vote. We don't let ourselves be surprised when we cannot get an absentee ballot or find that we can't get to the polls in person. And we remember that not voting or voting for Mickey Mouse or Popeye is terribly inappropriate in this election. And second, we do something other than bemoan the negativism that is so rampant all around us now. We need not be victims, and so we are called, as citizens of this democracy, to do something positive in order to actively participate in the outcome of this most important, perhaps the most important election in our lifetime. Let's not be left wondering, what do we do now? Because now is really now, and that is heart-stopping.